Hello, my name is Anne and this is Toby, and welcome to a Tobyknits Flush Tube episode 74. If you're new, you need to go get a cup of tea. You will definitely need a biscuit today because we're going to be talking about the cross stitch and embroidery. Yes, it's the rabbit hole. I can't get out of it. So, we have lots to talk about. I have lots to show you, and so let's get started. It's very hot. I live in just outside of Ottawa, Ontario, in a little village, and it is very, very hot here today. I haven't gone outside. Well, that's a big fib. I went outside once to let the dog out, and I was like, forget it, I'm not going out there again. Toby, you're on your own, buddy. Because it's just ridiculously hot. I know it's been hot in Europe and England where my dad is, but you don't get the humidity that we get here, and that's the killer that for us right now, because it's like 32, 34 degrees, but it feels like 40 something degrees. It's like walking into soup. It's horrible. So I don't go out because it's not very good for my breathing either. So lots of stitching time. Christmas in July has not really been going all that well. But I'll explain all that more. But let's get into some fully finishes. I've got 3. What? Yeah, 3 fully finishes. Can you imagine? Okay, first one, I'm super proud of this. It's my new cross stitch bag I made myself. Oh, wait, what? You can't, what? Wrong side. Ta-da! I made my beautiful secret garden from Historical Sampler Company. This was our last stitch along. And isn't this gorgeous? So it's all cross stitched, and there I put my initials and the year that I made it. I didn't end up putting the eyes in. I thought they looked fine as they were, but I just love everything about this. So I made it into a bag, which is fully lined inside, and it's all, there's no raw edges. It's just how I make my bags. I found a great pattern for these bags, if you could call it a pattern. There's a tutorial from, oh gosh, what was her name? Elizabeth Ann Can. I think that's what her YouTube channel is. I'll leave a link below to the actual tutorial for these bags that she did. It was years ago. She's done a lot more since then. So if you check out her channel, you'll see the rest of it. But this was one of my favorite kind of bags. So basically, this is it. So you can see this one's a little bit bigger because I had to make it conform to the embroidery. And I had to put sides on and bottoms to sort of make it all the size I wanted it. So there's a little bit of math involved, which you all know I'm not very good at. A lot of unpicking and cutting and sewing and unpicking and cutting and sewing till I got to the size I wanted. So, but anyway, I love it, and it's a great remembrance of this stitch along. And I have nothing in it right now because I'm waiting to put something in there. I don't know what I want to put in there yet, because you're gonna have to start a new project soon, right? Gosh, wouldn't be me if I didn't. So, but I love how it turned out, and so much nicer than just framing that and putting it on a wall. So that was my first fully finished. Then I fully finished my Leo embroidery. Now, again, I'm not very good at this yet because I'm still very new at it. I have been learning some stitches from the Hello Poppy embroidery. I'll show you in a minute. At the time, I only knew how to do French knots and satin stitch, back stitch, and running 6. So those are the only 4 I really knew. And then I had to actually Google, and I'm still not sure I did it right, the long and short stitch, but I finished him. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? I love it. I even did the little, there's like an inlet of trees up there, like the way the coastline curved round. And you can just see the little bit. Now the things I would do different about this, I use 3 strands, and I understand this is called thread painting, and I understand mostly thread painting is done with 1 strand or 2, and I did 3 all the way through, so it's quite thick, as you can see here. This is the wet sand, and then his shadow. This is the shallow, really shallow, like not even ankle deep water that's coming in. Liz suggested I added a bit more blue, which I did when she was over. And then these are the big waters, the waves coming in, and then the surf and all that. So I did end up back stitching him because he looked a little bit lost. So I just did 1 strand of back stitch around him to make him stand out a little bit more. But I love how it turned out, and it's got me so interested in thread painting itself. Yeah, so I really love how it showed up, and I've just done, now I think put something on the back. On my other 2 that I finished like this, I put felt on the back and sort of whip stitch the felt on, but I wanted to show you this. So I finished my clever poppy, and I absolutely love this. So this was a kit that they kindly sent me. I did an unboxing last week. I think it was last week. Literally, this did not take hardly any time to stitch. I was really thrilled to bits with it. I did learn a ton of stuff. So here's what I learned. I learned how to do the lazy daisy stitch, which you can use not just for a leaf like this, but you could also use it for the hearts and the bows, which we did. My satin stitch I already knew. The back stitch I already knew with either 6 strands or 3. But here's what blew my mind. I was doing French knots wrong. Who knew there was a way to do them? Because if you look at these French knots, look how willy billy, messy, wessy they are. Like, and then you look at these French knots. Look, they look like a knot. Look at that. Like, even in the center here, look at all those, they're perfect. I was doing them wrong. I'm not going to tell you how to do them right, because you need to get a clever poppy thing and watch their tutorials. Their tutorials are fabulous. Not only do they show you how to stitch this particular stitch, so they'll show you how to do a French knot, for example, on another project, like, you know. Then she goes to this project and does the French knots with you on this project. So literally holding your hand the whole way through. If you've never done embroidery, honest to goodness, you need to try these kits. So on top of that, they also give you instructions on how to dress the hoop. Who knew that was a thing? How to stitch, draw it on, how to stitch, how to get the lines off when you're finished, and how to do the backing. Now they did something different. They put a card, and it's a thick piece of card, which is obviously got, you know, made with love by, and then you put your date that you made it and all that, and you put it in a certain way that it holds everything together and makes this look lovely. I love the idea, but I don't know if I like leaving this all loose. I like when I cover that up with my felt, but I love this card idea, because you know, once you have finished it and filled it up, you can't see, there's no date on it. Like you can't, I probably could have put something on this, but anyway, I love it. Now, the other thing I did learn is when I have stitched my other 2 or 3 that I've done. Toby, what are you doing? He's sitting behind me. When I have stitched them before, I've stitched with a piece of muslin or something behind, or another piece of cotton behind, so that I can then go through to tie off my stitches. Now, yes, you cannot see the stitches at the back here, or the knots or anything, because this is covering them. But I can see a piece of thread up here. If there was two pieces of cloth, I wouldn't see that. So that's the only thing. And I did this one exactly the way the box said, even though I was very tempted to put another piece behind the piece that they sent me, just because I wanted to see the difference in stitching with a backing fabric. So anyway, so didn't this turn out lovely? I absolutely love it, and thank you so much, Clever Poppy, for sending this to me. I'm now going to go check out their other stuff because I think they've got some lovely new designs. So those are all my fully finishes. So let's get into the actual stitching of the cross stitch and Christmas in July. So Tuesday, last time I spoke to you last week, I was recording on the Tuesday. I always record on the Tuesday, the day before, and I was about to stitch that night Christmas Robin, which I did. Now then, I don't know if I don't think I took a picture. In fact, I don't think I took any pictures of before, so we're gonna just have to wing it, and I'll show you what I did. So here is my Christmas Robin patchwork, which is nearly finished. Now, it probably does not look any different from last time you saw this, but there is a slight difference in that I did this one, and was it this one and this one? See, I should have had a before picture, shouldn't I? Yes, it was. I did this one and this one because they look just like that. They just had the green sort of sticks. This one was done, but these 3 were just a green sort of stick like this. And I ended up putting all the lighter green in and the white and the reds in this one, started that one, and I did the tail on this reindeer because it hadn't been done. So that's what I managed to get done last Tuesday when this got pulled in the wheel. And so it turned out really nice. I love doing the wheel, but it's also slow going because you never know what's gonna come up next. So this hasn't been out for a week. So, but again, I'll explain to you why. Wednesday, I got a Song of Christmas, which is a really, really old one. And it looks like this. It is a lavender and lace. And I don't know how much more I got done on this one from when you last saw it, if anything much. I don't think I put a lot in. I was down here working on these lovely bits of her dress. And I just don't remember. Yeah, I think I had done this part, and then last week I ended up doing that and maybe filling this bit in. I don't feel like I've put a lot into this one though. Now this is drawn for tonight, so I will be working on this tonight while I watch a bit of telly. And it is absolutely beautiful. I've literally been stitching it for years. I've even forgotten how you do beads, because it's been that long since I've done a bead in a cross stitch. So I had been beading as I was going at the top, but not at the bottom. And I think I'm just going to finish it right off, because obviously there's more green to come here, the bottom of his coat and her dress. I'm just going to do all the cross stitch and then go back and do the metallic threads and the beadwork, because I literally have forgotten how to do it. It was something that I worked a lot on back when I did a lot more cross stitch than this. And like, as I said, so it was like 15, 20 odd years that I didn't stitch, and just picked it up again during COVID. And so therefore everything changed in cross stitch over those years. Like, there's not as much back stitch in cross stitch, I find, in the more current charts and patterns, which is sad because I love back stitch. And beading, I don't even know if there's a lot of beading and stuff in things anymore. So that's an old chart, so it's going to be a while. I'm going to have to figure it out again. So I figured if I leave it till the end, then I can do it all in one go. And then even if the first few are rubbish, by the time I get into it and to get it finished off, they should be good. Who knows? Thursday, I did no stitching. I have no idea why. I don't know, but I didn't. Literally have no idea why. Friday, we went camping, and by the time we got to the campsite, got all set up in our new tent trailer. Here's a few pictures. I did show some of these on my podcast on Monday, my knitting one, but I'll show you just in case you don't watch the knitting. So we went in our new to us tent trailer, and it was really hot. I tried to do a little bit of stitching on my new historical sampler, pumpkin, what is it? Pumpkin patch? Yeah. But it was just way too hot, and all I wanted to do was sleep. So I didn't get much of that done. Saturday, I did not take the Hampshire map with me because I didn't want to take a lot. I literally just took the pumpkin patch with me. And then Sunday, we were home by Sunday. We ended up coming home Saturday night because it was so hot. I couldn't cope anymore. I couldn't sleep. Even though all you want to do is sleep, but you can't fall asleep because you're too hot. And of course, there's no air conditioning in the trailer. So we came home. So I was able to work on my Peter Rabbit sampler, and this particular section is Miss Tiggy Winkle. And again, I don't even know. I'm not even going to put up a before because I can't even remember if I took one. But here is where I am now. So you can start to see I worked all on her hat. She's got one of them floppy little hats on. So I got all the stitches done on her hat and the grayish in here. So that was about 2 hours or so work on Sunday night. Oh, he's upside down. So this is the Peter, and this has a lot of back stitch in it, which I love because I feel like the back stitch pulls it all together, makes it so real. So this is the spring sampler. I'm so far behind with these, but I came up with this other idea. Now tell me what you think of this, because this kit, these magazines come from Britain. It's part of the Hatchette publishing company, and they're weekly magazines, and each week there's a different part of the sampler of the what is the word I'm trying? It's not a symbol, but I can't think of the word I'm trying to use. Section? It's not really a section, but I mean, whatever. Character. Let's say character. So each and the magazine usually goes through 4 or 5 issues with that one character, and they show you how to stitch so much of it and give you the color guide, and then the following week you know, you carry on. And well, it's fun to keep up with at the time because I stitch so many things. Of course, it's by the wayside. And it was in the wheel, and it got pulled out for the wheel, and Miss Tiggy Winkle, Hunka Munka and Timmy Tiptoes were part of the wheels, and I managed to get them done both during that particular month that they got pulled in WIPGO. Sorry, not the wheel, WIPGO. Peter, so this was supposed to be this month's. Will I get this finished? I've got 2 more Sundays to work on it. I might, I don't know. But then I thought to myself, what if we're about ready to start a new season of football? We're doing friendlies right now. I know Kat from Catkin and Lily, I think that's her name. She has a football stitch that she works on just when she's watching football. And I thought maybe that's what I'll do with Peter Rabbit. I'll keep it in the WIPGO because I think it does get called one more time. But whenever I'm watching football on the TV, whether it's a Wednesday night, a Saturday, a Sunday, I think I'm going to work on Peter. What do you think of that? So I think Peter will be my football stitch, so I can see if I can maybe get this done a little bit quicker. And then Monday, have a new start. So yesterday I couldn't resist. After I'd finished my Clever Poppy, I thought I need to do another bit of embroidery, and I'd finished my lovely little Leo, and I thought, what should I do? And I had just ordered this. It came in. I showed it you guys last week, and I was gonna leave it till November or December. I couldn't resist. What am I like? So I've decided to start on my Christmas tree, which is by Bothy Threads. I didn't even know if they did embroidery. And I saw this, and this is different from any of the other embroideries I've done, as in it's pre-printed on in color, and you basically go over some of the elements, not all, and you just stitch over them. So for example, this is a corner here, and you can see this is just the drawn on, and then this is what I did. I had to find it for a minute then, gosh. This is what I did last night. I did the bow here. It was supposed to be chain stitch, and no matter how I did it, I couldn't get it right. So I wound up taking it out and just doing split stitch. And then these are, and I thought they were straight stitches at first, but they're not. Now, what were they called? Because again, I had to look it up and figure out how to do it. It was called fly stitch. Fly stitch. So I did these. The first few I did in the pale green. I didn't do as the fly stitch. I did them as straight stitches or something. And you can see where they're not as nice as these, which I actually then read the instructions, as you do, and figured out how to do it in fly stitch, and it's got some little tiny French knots. So I still have to do more here because they're not done in the fly stitch, and then I have to do gold metallic thread here. And they suggest you do all 4 corners before you then put the center in a 8-inch hoop and work that all as one. So it's gonna be fun. So that was what I did last night. I was meant to be doing Song of Christmas because that's what the wheel pulled, but it was at that point I then decided, nope, I actually want to do embroidery. So that's what ended up happening. Now, where did that needle come from? Did that needle come from here? No, because it's in there. It must have come from somewhere else. I often get the needles stuck in the foam padding, whatever, on my little board here. And so I don't know where that one came from. So the only thing I have left to show you is Pumpkin Patch. So Pumpkin Patch I started on the 7th of July, so a week ago, yesterday. And it started then. I spent the whole evening stitching it and really enjoyed it. And it has now become my 1 hour a day. Now I have not stitched on it yet today, but here is what I've done so far. And it's so lovely. You might notice a few chocolate splodges on the linen. But here's what I've done. And this side is the same as this. So it's just going to be that on this side. So I literally just have this to do in the spider and the rest of that on this side. And then that will be all ready. And part 2 comes out on the 21st. So I really feel an hour a day. And I've decided to do the hour a day every day, not just Monday to Friday, because I feel like it works out faster and it's going to look good. I still have to put some little brown bits in the pumpkins to attach the pumpkin to the vine, but I'll do that when I'm on this side and I'm doing that color all in one go. But isn't it cute? Now the other thing is there's meant to be white in here. Every other stitch is white. I don't think I'm going to do it. I like it just like that with just the black. So I might, yeah, and I feel like you can't see it that well. It doesn't, but I like it like that so I think I might leave that and not put the white every other like there is supposed to be. But there is Pumpkin Patch. It's lovely, isn't it? I like it a lot. So that is the current Historical Sampler Company's Stitch Along. You can still get it. You can get it as a PDF. This was the little enamel pin that came. I don't know if you can still get that. You might be able to. Yeah, I really enjoy doing my historical. I get such a kick out of, like, I can't wait that morning. I get up and I'm like, oh, there's a new clue. And you get to see what it is. And, you know, so it's really nice. And this is a different one. It's 4 parts. And the last one was 5 parts that went this way. And this is 4 parts, but they're going this way down. So it's kind of fun. It's easy to read off of where you left off, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of fun. Again, I will leave links below if you would like to join in. You can get just a PDF, as I said. So there you go. Now, because I went down the rabbit hole of embroidery, I found 4 fabulous embroidery YouTube channels that I will link below that have learned a lot already. One of them in particular was great in showing me how to do long and short, actually 2 of them, and how to do the long and short stitch, because I found them when I was trying to research or trying to find the stitch, how to do that. And really like some of their videos. So I'll tell you who they are right now. So Cruel Ghoul Embroidery, hers are really good. She also has no, she doesn't. So Cruel Ghoul Embroidery. Then there's Sarah Humphrey Embroidery. She's British, love her. And she has a lot of free stuff on her channel, but she also has a Patreon, which I joined, of course I did. Cassandra Diaz Embroidery, love her stuff. It was her that I went to first to find out how I was gonna do the sky and the sand for this, because I thought this was too much of an area to do satin stitch. So I went and saw her video and then figured the long and the short stitch. So she's really good. And she also has a Patreon page, which I joined. You can actually join them all for free. I don't know if you knew that. And then you get emails from them, I think, because of that, which tells you what's coming. And then you can also go on and then choose a level that you can afford to decide if you like it. I always just choose the cheapest level at the beginning of everything I do to see whether or not I'm even gonna like that particular, and I do it for a month and then decide if I'm gonna bump up or not, or just cancel. I wanna see what you're getting first of all from them. And so yeah, so she is a really good, I like hers. And then I don't even know how you say this, MIU Embroidery. She's lovely. I love her stuff. And she does, again, she has a YouTube Patreon page, and she will walk you through each of the different embroideries that they're doing. And again, I want to just try one of them and do it because I want to try doing the thread painting with the one strand to see the difference that one strand does. Obviously it will be slower than doing this, which was 3 strands and fills more space in, but will it have that same real feel? So I want to try one of their upcoming stitch alongs at some point. So those are some floss tubes and Patreons that I have started following because I think they're fabulous. I also bought myself this book, Thread Painting, which is also known as Silk Shading Embroidery. And this is Margaret Dyer, and it goes through all kinds of stuff of how you can shade, how it works, the colors, the types of stuff that you need, how to draw. She shows you how to do some drawings and stuff. And there are some beautiful patterns in here. And I'm very, very tempted to do this one as well. Again, with her step-by-step instructions. So that, where is it? Let me just find it for you. It's a bird, and I love birds. Nope. Oh, there's a feather one too. That's a nice feather. That might be a nice one to start with, and then you can make it a bookmark, couldn't you? And that's a nice, easy one to start. There's a beautiful poppy as well. I might like, look at that one. A nice poppy. Where's the bird one? Oh, here it is. I love that. Wouldn't that be lovely? I mean, they look so real. And these are nearly all done with the one strand. So, yeah, I'm kind of, this is a fat bullfinch apparently. So, I really like this book and I really want to have a go at one of those. So, I've also ordered some more zippers. They're coming to make more bags because I'm going to be selling some of my bags at a local craft fair in October. I'll tell you more about that later. And I've also ordered some muslin because I don't know if that's better to go behind or if I can actually embroider on the muslin. I'm not sure. So I do have some cotton I can use, but I'm not 100%. So I ordered this muslin to see what it was like. So hopefully that'll come in. So that's all I have to tell you today. Probably didn't really need a biscuit after all, but it's always good to have the biscuits anyway, right? I mean, what's a cup of tea without a biscuit? So yeah, I think I'll go now. I'll have another cup of tea and a biscuit. Then I might have to have a little nap. Yeah, you just have to do it really, don't you? Yeah. All right, I will see you next week for another Christmas stitching in July floss tube. And let's hope I get a bit more Christmas stitching done. It'd be really nice to finish one of these projects, wouldn't it, really, eh? Before the end of the month. What am I like? All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye.